Hello ladies and gentle ladies, welcome back to another stream, and we're going to be doing some more Industria again today, as you can probably guess. Hello Alex, welcome to the stream. And yeah, I think we're just gonna get straight into it. We're going to be working on the Crystallizer again today. Honestly, something I should actually just put into the title at this point, like what I'm actually working on. Is that a good idea? I think that's a good idea. It's going to be a bit long though. It's fine. Yeah, I probably could edit it with a thumbnail. And I probably should, you're right. Maybe I will. Maybe I will start doing that. Hello Basti, welcome to the stream. So yeah, let's just get straight into it, shall we? So I actually don't know if my camera's gonna work. It's been messing me around just before I started the stream, so we'll see. So go to that and camera, maybe. Hey, there we go. I wasn't sure if that would work, but it is working. So okay, honestly, I forgot where we're at since last time. And I have not touched it since, so I'm gonna have to quickly figure that out first. I think we just need to do the GUI, and then we can test it in the game. I think that's where we're at, so we can do that. So we'll create a Crystallizer screen, which will extends handled screen of a Crystallizer. Oh, I forgot to put my phone on vibrate. I knew there was something I forgot. So Crystallizer screen, is that going to come up? It's not going to come up. Okay. There we go. And we'll just do that, and then also render, maybe? No? Okay. We do need render because for some reason we always need to call draw mouse over tooltip. I don't know why they can't just call it for us, but here we are. So that's render. We're also going to need init, and then we're obviously going to need a constructor as well. Okay, in the constructor, the only thing we're going to need to do is set the background height to be... I don't think it's 176, but I will check. It is 176. Okay. And the background width is 174, but I think that's normal. Hello, Aziz. Welcome to the stream. I don't do the... No, I don't do that in here. Do I? Do I do that in here? No, I do that in here. Yeah. We're going to need the energy widget as well. We can go ahead and do that real quick. So add, is it add drawable? I think so. New energy widget, no, not that one. New energy widget dot builder, which takes in the energy storage. So that's going to be this dot handler dot get block entity, which doesn't exist. We do need that method though, so we'll do that. Whoa, no, definitely not. Can be that. Okay, there we go. So get block entity, and then we'll just do get energy storage. And then we need to do the bounds. So that's going to be this dot x plus Let me just grab the position of this. So it starts at 156, 158, then this.y plus 12, and then the width is going to be 12, and the height is going to be 66. And then I think we just build it, unless I'm forgetting something. I don't think I need to do the color because I think that's automatically defaulted. It is not, so I actually do need to do the color. At some point I need to kind of, I think I'm gonna like render a texture over all the energy widgets to have it like that classic like red with like bars over it kind of thing. I think I'm gonna do that at some point. So setting a color is actually gonna not be too useful, but for now I think it's fine. So yeah, so what am I doing? I've just closed. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm closing things and I'm not meaning to close them. Is it in here, the energy widget? Yes. So I actually just want this value there. There we go. So that should be fine for that. We're also going to want 2 fluid widgets as well. So I'm actually also just going to grab that from here. So the first one is going to be water. And then the second one is going to be the crystal fluid. Which may be a better name, but so X position is at 8, so that's this one, so that is at 8 and 12, and I think the height is 20 by 66. Yes, 66. Okay, the next one is also going to have a Y of 12. And then the X is going to be 31. Honestly, there should probably be a gap of like 2 between them. So, yeah, it's fine. I'll come back to it at some point in the future. Rendering one color for energy looks ugly. I agree. It was more of a temporary solution when I originally did it, but it's kind of stuck because I'm too lazy to fix it. So at some point I will do it. In fact, you know what? Just to make sure I do it at some point. Redo rendering of energy widget. Make it look better. A gradient would work too, but I'm not sure whether I'll do a gradient. Because I think you got to be careful not to make it like too gradienty. But yeah. So texture, quite important. So we'll do that. So we'll do a, don't know why I made that public. Doesn't need to be public. So that would be identifier. Whoa, what am I doing? Texture is equal industria.id textures GUI container crystallizer. Okay, fantastic. The texture is already saved at that location, isn't it? Yes, it is. The other thing I need to do is I need to say the, yeah, that, which will put the player inventory title here. That's fine. Okay, I think that's basically it, as long as I obviously draw the texture. I don't know actually why I closed Paint, because we are going to need to also draw the progress bar, which I should also make a widget, to be honest, at some point, but I haven't yet. So yeah, so we just need to do what is it, screen utils dot draw texture, context, texture, this dot x, this dot y, 0, 0, this dot background width, and this dot background height. Okay, then we need to do the progress bar, which I'm going to go ahead and steal from here. So the X and Y position are probably going to be different. So is it like that? I think so. So I think the X will be at... Interesting that this one's at 76. Because I have it in here that it should be at 77. Not sure about that. That's suspicious. And the Y I have as 38 in the texture. So one of them is probably wrong. Not sure which one. It could be actually because this texture is slightly different. I think I moved them a little bit. We'll see. I mean, it is what it is. It'll probably get changed at some point in the future anyways. Let's go ahead and register this screen. So I'm going to come into init, and I'm going to go screen init, and then I'm going to do... The other thing we need to do actually is the block entity renderer, and we're also going to need to make a model as well at some point today. So we'll do Crystallizer block entity renderer, which will extend Industria block entity renderer of a Crystallizer block entity. Then it needs the onRender method, and then it also needs this. Okay, fantastic. So on render, all it needs to do, it needs to have the model and then render it, but we don't have a model yet, so we're not going to do that yet. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, I think apart from that, we're basically ready to go. Should we make a model first, or should we test it without a model? I think we should make a model first. We're not going to make like a full-on model, of course. Hello Romeo, welcome to the stream. It is a multi-block, yes. It's actually going to be exactly the same size as this one. I think this is... How tall is this? So... That's 5 blocks tall. So actually we want one that's 4 blocks tall, I believe. So that will go down by 60. So this is basically the size we're going to be going for. I believe. I probably shouldn't actually just use the digester though. So I'm going to create a new. And this is going to be the Chris. Oh, did I think I forgot to change some. Like this, and well, actually the rest is fine. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically what... See, I kind of don't want it to be a multi-block, because I feel like it doesn't need to be a multi-block, but at the same time, it would, I think, look really weird if it wasn't a multi-block. So... I think I'm probably going to just leave it as a multi-block. Because I think it would be cool to basically have it be so, like, you can see inside of it and you see like a crystal like grow up from the bottom. I think that'd be quite cool. Yeah. I'm just thinking, okay, sure. So we can probably make this work then. So I'm gonna just duplicate this a couple times and kind of make it hollow. Which I should probably do with the digester as well, but haven't got quite around to that yet. So duplicate again. Like that. Duplicate again. Music is crazy. It sounds like it's from like Narnia or something. So like not Minecraft. Okay, that's fine. And then the final one is this top face. When are the custom mob tutorials dropping? Probably, unfortunately, never. Or at least never for 1.21, I don't think. I mean, especially since 1.22 is going to be releasing like when is it? Like 2 days time or something? 2 days or 3 days or something? So yeah, I mean, I don't know how the next few updates are going to pan out, to be honest. It's going to be interesting because I still have university work to do. So I kind of thought like maybe by the time the next update would come out, I would have finished all that, but I haven't because apparently it's coming out sooner than I expected. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure what my plan is going to be, to be honest. So I'm thinking I'm probably just going to make the front glass, I think. I'm going to do something like this, I think. I bring this up. This thing. So that's 16. So I actually want to come 2 down and then down. Because then it's just get just a normal block in there. And then we can kind of see the size of things. So I need to go 14 up. I have done something wrong there. I think negative. There you go. Okay, so this is a normal block size. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted. So I wanted it so that there would be a 2 pixel gap here because there's 2 pixels at the bottom. That's fine. Okay. So my idea is, let's just put that over there for now. There's going to be like some kind of output on the front here, I think. So hello Wide, welcome to the stream. How's everyone's day going today? Everyone had a good day today? My day has gone, I don't know, how has my day gone? I haven't done anything today. I have had a very lazy day today. What have I done? I went out driving this morning, that was fun. I went on dual carriageway. Was pretty new to me. Like, it wasn't new to me because I did that in my lesson last week, but yeah, that was fun. Apart from that, I haven't done anything today. You went to see MC Live with friend? Damn, that's wild. Yeah, what was your guys' opinions on MC Live? I thought it was quite anticlimactic. Well, actually it wasn't, because I didn't expect much anyways, but yeah, it wasn't that great. And I think the new mob is cool. It's a very cool concept. It's unique, right? It's not something that someone can say like, oh, this has been done by mods. Like, it hasn't been done by mods. It is a unique concept, which you've got to give them some credit for, because that's pretty hard to come up with something that's actually unique. But like, that's basically the entire update, which is, yeah, maybe not the best. I don't really know what I'm doing here, by the way. So don't go too hard on me here, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Let me do. There we go. Something like that. That just means that then I can make this glass here. But that doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I don't really know how this is going to work as a multi-block. Because the thing is, right? The thing is, there's going to be a crystal growing like in the middle. Is I think how it's going to work. So that somehow has to be like extracted. I genuinely am not sure. I could maybe make it so like crystals are grown like throughout the whole thing. There also needs to be, now that I think about it, like if I look at like I should probably Google not use Brave, because Brave is like not that great. Yeah, see, in real life they don't really kind of look like this. It's more of like, okay, I think I can actually make this kind of work. So there needs to be like some kind of funnel on the top. So what if I bring this down a little bit? Bring these down a little bit. and then create some kind of funnel. Or just, it just needs to be some kind of like input. I'm tempted to make this actually a full 3x3x3 because otherwise having like 2 inputs here isn't... Actually, I think my plan was to have water input up here. So... Okay, I think for now, just as like a temporary thing, I'm going to keep these to the top. And I'm just going to have it like this. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. But I'm probably going to come back and I'm going to remodel this because I want to have an input at the top for like the crystal fluid, and then an input in the back for the water. And then there's going to be some kind of output here as well. And then there'll obviously be somewhere for energy as well. But yeah, I think for now, I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm going to create a texture, and then I'm going to want to make this glass, because otherwise it's going to be very hard to see what it renders like in-game. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Not yet, because there is going to need to be some kind of like platform here. Like that. There we go. This, just put that in like that. Oh, what has happened here? Oh, probably because that wasn't set to render, maybe? There you go. So now I can kind of hide this. And this is basically what it will look like. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and save this texture. Oh, hot. And I'm gonna put it in the usual place. So textures block. We're gonna go in here. I'm gonna call this the Crystallizer. Okay. Like that. Let's go ahead and just edit this, which will bring it open here. I feel like this is massive. Like, this is crazy big. I feel like, could this really not be put into 256 by 256? Like, surely... Oh, wait, 256. So this is 256 by 256. Could you not put this down here? Why did Blockbench not do that? This could very much be 256 by 250. But whatever. Blockbench being weird, I guess. So, these are the front panels here. So, I think I can actually copy the mixer. I don't remember how tall the mixer is. I don't know if it's 3 high or 4 high. I think it's 3 high. Let's check. If I can just copy the mixer, that would be ideal. Actually, I don't think that's... Well, no, that's not going to work anyways, actually, now that I think about it. Because it's also a different size. But I am going to be able to like kind of use it. So if I go to here, so if I copy this, you can see it doesn't quite fit. So what I will do is I will open glass. Textures. Okay. And I'm basically just gonna do the same thing we did before. Oops. Oops. There we go. And I'm just gonna copy this. Paste it down here. Yeah, I can't do that. That's fine. I'll just do this and then I'll put it on a new layer. Okay. Wait, this isn't right. I meant to put it, yeah, there. And then all I have to do is just move this there. Get rid of that. And then I can get rid of these. This isn't going to look perfect, of course. Like, far from it in reality, but this is actually part of that one. Oh, oops. How is that selecting? Oh, right, because it's on the wrong thing. Okay, sure. So kind of like this, except I also then want, I want that here. Let me just grab these. Oh, wrong layer. Oh, wrong layer again. Thank God I only have to do this once. Is that the right Y height? Can't tell if that's... Yeah, I think that's fine. Like that. And then like that. This is going to be very far from perfect. Oh, I've missed a pixel there. We'll just fill it in. I'm sure that's same there as well. Okay. It looks kind of shit. With these ones, does anyone know if I just like stretched it out, or like how the hell did I make this work? I'm not sure. Also, I'm not sure of really what the actual best way to do something like this is, but we'll stick with it. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, there we go. And then we just got to do the same thing on these ones. Paste. Paste. What? How is this a different size? What? Huh? I'm confused. Oh, of course it is, because... Yes, it is, because that's the front face here. Right? No. No, why is it not as wide? Oh, because these are the side faces, and the side faces are wider because they cover this whole thing, whereas here... Right, okay. That's going to be a pain in... Oh, I actually didn't want to do the side faces, did I, now that I thought about it? Why did no one tell me this? I didn't want to do the side faces. Let's undo all that. Okay. We're going to put this back in here. Not like that though, because we actually do want it on a new layer. So I think the one we want to do actually is this one. And I think I can just do that and it won't be like too much of an issue. And then here I can just do that. And then basically everything outside of that. And just get deleted. And I think that's like fine, to be honest. And all I have to do is just delete that. Delete that. I actually think that needs to go one higher, doesn't it? Does it? Yes, it does. These need to go up to... Or up one, actually. Sure. That should be fine. And then all I will do is I will delete these ones. Like that. And that should be fine. Now if I go back in block bench, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Though maybe I should delete the inside face. I'm going to delete the inside face actually. So that's probably, I'm guessing, this one. There you go, now it doesn't look so weird. Okay. Good. Yeah, that's good. That should be fine. I think that's going to be it for the model, at least for now. As I say, I'll come back to it. Let's save this first. So Crystallizer model, and then we're also going to need to save the Java. And let's also, whilst we're at it, even though it's going to change, is we're going to export the voxel shape. Export voxel shape for fabric. And we'll just go in here. Okay. Close that, open this. Let's do this first and get this over and done with. So we'll go into the block class. Voxel shape is equal that, and I'm going to just simplify that. And then all I need to do in here is just say that it has a constant shape of voxel shape. And then I also just need to go into multi-block type init. I need to do that. Perfect. Then I just need to edit the actual model. We can completely minimize that. So in here, this is just going to extend model. We're going to need to super of root and then render layer cutout. We can do that. Get rid of these. And I think that's it. No, that's not it. What am I on about? We're gonna need the entity model layer location equal a new entity model layer industria.id crystallizer main, and we're also going to want an identifier texture, which is textures block crystallizer. And let's just register this layer location. So we'll go init and we'll go entity model layer. Nice. And then let's use this in the renderer. We'll go private, final, crystallizer model. This.model is equal to new crystallizer model context dot what is it? Is it this? I think so. And then this.model dot render, which will take in the matrices, the vertex consumers, the light, and the overlay. This needs to be vertex consumers dot get buffer, which takes in render layer. Yeah, and wait, is it this? Wait, how have I completely forgot? This isn't right. Is this right? Is it this? I don't think that's right. What have I done wrong? Oh, this .model.get layer. I was gonna say something was wrong there and I couldn't quite pinpoint it. Okay, so then we just need to register the renderer as well. So block entity renderer, crystallizer. Nice. This is all fine, right? Yes. Okay, should we test it? Do you guys think it will work? What do you guys think? Alright. I reckon it's not gonna work. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it crashes. But we're gonna see. Actually, I have just thought of something I forgot. But we can fix that later, it's not too important. I think most things should be fine. So if we go into here, and hopefully there should be an actual model for it. Also, multi-block IO should not be in the menu, in the creative menu. Why is there no data gen? Did I not run data gen? I possibly didn't run data gen. I assumed I ran it last time, but maybe I didn't. There we go. Just build. And then F3T. Hopefully. Interesting. The fact that this is invisible tells me that the renderer is not working. But let's place it down. Interesting, the renderer is working. I wonder why it's invisible then. Oh, I know why it's invisible, because I did forget something. And that is add it to the dynamic item renderer. So I just need to do private final crystallizer block entity, crystallizer, and then just add that in there. I can't hot swap that, but there it is. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, fluid should go, basically it's going to come in the back up here. Why has the voxel shape not rotated? Interesting. Don't know. Yeah, I need to maybe move these down a little bit. But that's fine for now. Let me just see in terms of like full block where things are at. Okay. Yeah, why has the voxel shape not rotated? That's very interesting. I didn't model it the wrong way around in Blockbench, did I? Like, is this not... It is facing north. Interesting. Is it not changing with like rotation? Like if I do this, it's the same every single time. I think I know why, actually. We're going to the block bar. I said it as a constant shape, but I think it needs to be use rotated shape. I don't know that I'm not going to be able to hot swap that, am I? Okay. That's fine. So we can close that now anyways. And let's add the recipe, shall we? So let's go into the block entity. I'm just going to bring this over because I need to see this stuff here, basically. So let's come into recipe, create a new class, and we're going to go Crystallizer recipe. Going to implement recipe of a Crystallizer recipe input. Let's actually go ahead and create that first. So I'm going to just copy the what's the best thing to copy here? Maybe the mixer? So that takes in a recipe simple inventory, a fluid stack, and a temperature. Not quite, but like kind of. So we want a recipe simple inventory. This isn't really right, to be honest. What we want is an item stack, which is going to be the or no, we don't really want an item stack. We want a fluid stack, which is going to be the water fluid, I guess. I don't really know what to call that, so just sticking with that for now. And then also a fluid stack for the crystal fluid. And then we also want an item stack for the catalyst as well. And I think that's it. I think the rest is fine. Get stack in slot will just return catalyst. Or actually it will be slot is equal 0 and catalyst, or oh, the size is just going to be 1, and then is empty is going to be that. I think that's fine. So this will just be that, and then it needs to implement the methods, and we'll also show that one as well, and that one. Okay, let's do matches first of all. So this is gonna be a little bit it's gonna be a little bit complicated to actually match it. Let's make this a record so that we can actually do this, and then we'll figure out the matching stuff. So we're going to have a fluid stack, which is going to be the water fluid. We're going to have a fluid stack, which is going to be the crystal fluid. We're going to have a ingredient, which is going to be the catalyst. And this is actually going to be nullable, because we might not have a catalyst. Do that actually. Then we're going to want an output item stack, which is going to be the output. And then we're also going to have another output item stack, which is going to be the by product. This one can be nullable. Well, actually, I won't make it nullable, and I won't make this one nullable either. I'll just make it so you have to put in an empty ingredient. And then we're also going to want a int process time. Like that. Okay, then matches. We're going to grab some things from here. So we're going to grab the which is the water fluid. Grab the crystal fluid, and then we're going to grab the catalyst. So we're going to return water fluid dot I thought I had a method. Oh, also this should be a an Industria ingredient for the catalyst. So matches, what does that do? Matches is actually what I want. So if the variant equals the other variant and this amount is greater than the other amount. So this amount would be water fluid. So water fluid is greater than this dot water fluid. And the crystal fluid matches the crystal fluid. And this not catalyst test for recipe. So count is less than or equal. So the count of this dot catalyst is less than or equal catalyst. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So it either needs to be this. I should actually have a Boolean. Well, actually, I guess you wouldn't require a catalyst, but I'll have it anyway. So it requires catalyst. Or it does not require catalyst. Yeah, that should be fine, I think. Catalyst dot is empty. Or no, not that. What I had before. This is fine. Okay, craft will just do that, which will take in a new local random of thread local random dot current dot next long. Okay, is ignored in recipe book is just going to be true. Get serializer, we're going to do recipe serializer init dot crystallizer. This will be recipe type init. This will be ingredient placement dot none. Get displays will return list dot of that, and the recipe book category is going to be recipe book category init dot crystallizer. Okay, let's create the type. So public static class type, and we're going to want a instance And I think the type also has a 2-string as well. Which I'm not sure what goes in there, to be honest. So I'm going to open the mixer. So yes, kind of that, but like we do it like this. Okay. Apparently we also do a group, actually. So that's going to be return Industria.id to string. Okay. Checking everything else is fine. Looks to be. So then we're going to want the serializer. So public static class serializer implements recipe serializer of a crystallizer recipe. We're going to want a instance. Then we're going to want a map codec of a crystallizer recipe. And that's a record codec builder. Map codec. And this might actually be fine. So it does fluid stack, ingredient, industrial ingredient, output item stack, boolean int. Yep, that's fine. Nice, good job, Copilot. Okay, next is the packet codec. So packet codec of a registry byte buff and crystallizer recipe. Packet codec dot tuple. Which will be the fluid stack. So fluid stack. The packet codec, crystallizer recipe, water fluid. And this is going to be packet codecs dot bool, packet codecs dot integer. I hate how it does that. Why is this one bool and this one is integer and not int? Like, hate that so much. Annoys me every single time. But anyways, then we're going to want codec, which will return codec, and also packet codec. No, return packet codec. Hello, Agent Cryo. Welcome to the stream. Then we're just going to want a public record crystallizer recipe display. And hopefully Copilot can do this for me. Maybe? That'd be nice. Kind of. So we just don't have this. But I think the rest is probably fine. How's it going? Things are going well, I believe. Yeah, things are going good. I'm just thinking. Does see, in my code here, I have the codec as being public, but I don't think it actually needs to be public. So I think I can just not have it public. Thinking is indeed deadly. I agree. But it's fine. Yes, we also do need This is correct, actually. So we actually need, so this doesn't actually take in an ingredient. This takes in a slot display. Same here. So for the output, that needs to be a slot display. And then this one needs to be a slot display. I still don't understand what this stuff actually does, but we need it. So here we are. There we go. And hopefully Copilot can figure that out. Nice. Hello, Worty Fire. Welcome to the stream. Okay, then we're going to want a packet codec. And hopefully, once again, Copilot will figure this one out. It did. Lovely. Then we're going to want the serializer. Which actually can also be private. Serializer is actually this one of a Crystallizer recipe display. No, Copilot, no, you're wrong. That is not. Serializer is equal a new serializer, and then that just takes in the codec and the packet codec like that. And then we also are going to want the result, which is going to return output. Actually, the result is technically not the output. The result is going to be a new composite slot display of the output and the byproduct, which is actually like that. Nice. Then we just want the serializer, of course. So return serializer. Perfect. Now, apparently there is actually a fluid. Okay, there is not. I thought there was a fluid slot display, but apparently there isn't. I thought I saw somewhere there was. There isn't. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I should probably just create one at some point, but oh well. This isn't quite correct. So after the catalyst, we need a new item slot display of blockinit dot crystallizer dot as item. Okay, then we have the output and the byproduct. So these are actually output byproduct dot to display. Catalyst also needs to be to display. And then we can just go ahead and register these in the respective registry classes. Got that one. That one. And that one. I wonder if I do this, what? Compressor. Interesting. Not going to have one of those anytime soon. I'm not even sure what that would actually do. Let me just do this. Probably won't actually do anything, but just might help a little bit. Okay. Next thing to do is just the data gen for this custom recipe. So we'll quickly go ahead and do that. I'm going to copy the mixer. We'll do Crystallizer recipe builder. Okay, we're going to have to change this a little bit. So we're going to have input fluid, which is actually the water fluid. We're going to have another private final. We can actually put them both on the same line. It will also be the crystal fluid. Then we're going to have the Industria ingredient, which is the catalyst. We're not going to have temperature. We are going to have output, and then we're also going to have a byproduct. And then we're going to have a process time. And we're also going to have a private final boolean. Which I put here, but it doesn't really make sense to have it there, but whatever. Requires catalyst. And the great thing that we can do is we can actually get rid of these. Get rid of that. There we go. We can actually get rid of pretty much all of this. So all of that can go. That can go. This can go. And this just needs to be instead. Oh. This needs to be a new crystallizer recipe. Which is just going to take all of those in, except that. I don't know why I tried to put that in. Why is it complaining? Selected 3 arguments but found true. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. That's kind of wacky. Okay. So then all we have to do is come into the recipe provider. And we do private static void. Register crystallizer. Hopefully. Okay, good. So it was able to actually go ahead and figure that out. That's nice. We are actually just going to pass in a string name. So that we can do that. This is not register. I don't know why I did register. It's offer. It is kind of registering it, but like also not really. So we're going to offer a crystallizer recipe, which will take in the exporter. And we're going to need to put some things in here. So it is going to take in water, and then it is going to take in sodium aluminate. And then the catalyst, if I check, is going to be aluminum hydroxide. So that's actually going to be that one too. 1 second. What's the parameters here? So output, and then it has the byproduct. So this is the byproduct, and this is actually sodium carbonate. And the chances of this are going to be like relatively high. And I'm just going to do a uniform int provider create between 1 and 2. And then for the aluminum hydroxide, that would just be a 1-to-1. That's perfectly fine. Okay. So let's actually make it so... Like, I want to make it so you have to fill it up, I think. I think that would be optimal. And also process time, I'm going to set to like 1,000. Requires catalyst will be false, so it doesn't require the catalyst. But yeah. So then sodium carbonate, that's fine. Now I need to decide if I'm going to call this gibbsite or if I'm going to call it aluminum hydroxide. I think I will just call it aluminum hydroxide. Yeah, there are other ones, apparently. Bayerite, doyelite, and nordostrandite. But apparently they are much rarer. So, as far as I'm concerned, aluminum hydroxide is going to be the only one. Or gibbsite is going to be the only one. Therefore, we'll just call it aluminum hydroxide. Keep it nice and simple. Yeah, so I think I wanted to require like a full thing of water and then like a full amount of the crystal stuff as well. So I'm going to go into... I'm actually going to like make it so you have to input like 32 maybe. And then it'll actually output 32. And then in terms of sodium carbonate, this is going to output between 32 and 64. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, so then let's do the amount. So if we go into the block entity, which I already have open and just completely forgot that I already had it open. The water is going to be 5 buckets. 5 buckets of water. And then I've set it to be 1 bucket of crystal stuff. And so I'm kind of thinking from a bucket, you probably shouldn't get 32 because then that would... how much would that mean you actually get from 1 bauxite? So if you think about it, it's a 4-to-1. So you get... So for each 4 bauxite, you get 333 millibuckets of the stuff. Which is then converted once you get 1,000 of the other stuff. So yeah, it's converted once you get 1,000. Wait, I just realized actually this recipe here doesn't make any sense, does it? Or does it? You put in a bottle, and you get out a bottle. That doesn't make any sense. You should put in really a bucket and you get out a bottle and you get red mud. That makes more. This should also probably be like 5. Wow. And these other ones should be slower too, but I don't want the whole thing to go slower. Because that would just be annoying. So how much do you need to get this? Well, you're gonna need 12. You're gonna need 12 bauxite to get a bucket of sodium aluminate. So if it's 12, we don't want to like massively double that or like massively go over that, but we do want to make it like worth doing, right? So 12 to 32 is a horrible ratio. That's like 6 to 16, which is 3 to 8. That's like just a not nice ratio. So let's do like 12. We'll just 3x it, I think. So we'll do 36. Sure. Or actually, we don't really want it to like do that at this stage, now that I think about it. Like a bucket should probably still only output like 8 maybe. What's the ratio on that? That's a horrible ratio too. Okay, we'll we'll output. It's all going to be horrible ratios because it's these all output it to like a third of what it was, which is a really not nice ratio. It doesn't really matter. I can change it all later. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, this will be aluminum hydroxide. That's fine. So we do actually need to register aluminum hydroxide and sodium carbonate. So we can do that real quick. Oh, yellow cake. That's fun. I do want to add yellow cake at some point, but not right now. Aluminum hydroxide, and then also no. Nope. Sodium carbonate. There you go. What else does it want to add? I'm curious. Aluminum oxide. Not quite. We'll get to that when we do the whole herote process. I'm never gonna say that right, I don't think, but yeah, we'll get to that probably soon. Actually, kind of soon, because we're gonna do the kiln next. And then after the kiln, it will be that second process, but we'll get to it in time, in due time. Okay, so let's go ahead and just run data gen so we can have that like do the thing. And then we need to make it actually work. So I'm going to bring this back in. So we're going to want a private recipe, no, registry key of a recipe is the current recipe ID. We're also going to want a private item stack. What's it called? Output item stack, which is item stack.empty, and also a private item stack byproduct item stack. And we're going to need to read and write both of them. I'm actually going to move these up a little bit because they're quite annoying being all the way down there. So I'm going to put them just below ticking. Okay, and I'm actually going to copy those though from here. There we go. Yeah, and we'll have to do that one differently too. These should also really be... Oh, that returns 0 if it doesn't exist. Okay, that's fine. Let's grab this. Then we're going to need to do the output item stack and whatever. I'm going to copy those from the mixer, I think. No, maybe not the mixer. The clarifier, maybe. Yeah, yes. Wrong place. Item stack from MBT, that takes in the register. And then Oh, that's... I see. What does this do? Oh, from MET or empty. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Perfect. So, let's copy this method. And this is just going to turn into a crystallizer recipe, which means that this will be a crystallizer recipe input, and this will become crystallizer. Okay, then I'm going to need to add those in here. So basically, this. And we'll put that in tick. Okay, so get rid of that. Get rid of that. And this needs to become crystallizer recipe input. This needs to become crystallizer recipe. And this needs to become crystallizer recipe. This needs to become crystallizer recipe. Perfect. Then I need to actually pass the things into here. So I need a fluid stack, which is the water fluid stack. Let's make this a var, which is the water fluid storage. Then I'm also going to want the crystal fluid storage, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to want the catalyst. Well, and pass all of those straight into there. Fantastic. Okay. So that going gets us the recipe. What's going on up here? Oh, did I forget to read and write this? I did. Oopsie-doo. There we go. Okay, I do also need actually the overflow stuff, so that is this. So that in there. And there we go. Okay. Fantastic. So see, Copilot doesn't really know how like transactions work, so this is actually like not correct, which is kind of funny. Let's turn Copilot off for this section because this is going to be a little bit different to that. So we are going to want that if check, of course. So if the progress is greater than or equal to the max progress, right? So if it's done, basically. And if it's done, then obviously we want to get our outputs. So it was kind of right with that too, just not the right way that we do it. So we say item stack output is going to be equal to recipe.craft, which is going to take in the recipe input, and then it's also going to take in this.world get registry manager. Then we're going to have the item stack by product, which is going to be equal to let's do public item stack create output, which is basically just going to do this. And then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to do create byproduct, which is going to do this dot byproduct dot create. And I'm actually going to pass in a local random. For both of these. Because I think I will be able to get that from the world. This can then just return create help, which is fine. So then I can just do recipe create output, and that will do this dot world dot random. I believe that's a thing I can do. Yeah, that doesn't need to take in that. It can just take in a normal random. Apparently not that random though. Apparently a Minecraft random for whatever reason. Sure. Recipe.create byproduct this.world.random. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and take away the inputs. So we're going to need to do water fluid storage dot amount will be negative equal to recipe dot water fluid dot amount, and then we need to do crystal fluid storage dot amount negative equals recipe dot crystal fluid dot amount. Then what we're going to do is we're going to need to decrease the catalyst, but I don't want the catalyst to quite work the same way. So in terms of the catalyst, I don't know that a catalyst should work maybe like per recipe. I don't think it really should. I think it should be able to persist throughout multiple. So I'm thinking I have like a let's have a private int catalyst uses left. And then have a private int max catalyst uses. And then I'm actually going to add those to the property delegate as well. So I'm actually going to say case 2 Crystallizer block entity dot this dot catalyst uses left. And then Copilot can come back now. You can come back, Copilot. We'll add those in here. And then just change this to 4. And then I do need to make sure, of course, that in here, I also change this to be 4. And also in here, I changed that to... Okay. And I also need to obviously read and write that to MBT as well. So MBT.put int that and that. Now that I think about it, I also am going to have to actually pass that in here as well, aren't I? Okay. Or do I just make that a const? Maybe I should just make the amount of... no, that's kind of stupid to be constant. Okay, I'm going to add that to here because I'm going to do that now before I have to change it all later. So I will add int catalyst uses. Okay, and then all I have to do is basically add that here. Not that I like need it there, but like it is what it is. This should really go there. And this should really go there. This needs to go also in here. So catalyst uses. And in here we need that. And in here we need that. Okay. We have an error here. What's the error? Crafting station. Huh? What am I doing wrong? Both crafting station and crafting station match? Huh? What? What's wrong with that? Is that not fine? I'm confused because I know that this has a crafting station method and I know that this is a record, right? But surely adding this in here just overrides that. I'm confused because that doesn't cause an issue here, and all I did was I added this. Why does that break it? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, why? Why? Like, I genuinely don't understand what's wrong with that. Reference to crafting station is ambiguous. Both crafting station and crafting station match. I don't understand. Can I build it? Or is it like full on like being weird? Huh. Do I have too many arguments? Like, is the method just like... Do I have too many? How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I have 9. Wait, how does... Oh, because this one... I see. Ah. Wait, how doesn't that cause... Oh, because... I see. I mean, technically the recipe display doesn't need it. I mean, it actually doesn't need a lot of these things because they're not used. But yeah, I see the problem. So basically there just isn't enough things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do do I actually have? Yes, I do. So I can do I've got to find a place to put it, to be honest. So if I do 2 pull and then I do T9, and T9, object 10, object 10. Okay. And I'll just get rid of these because those don't need to be there. That's just decompiler artifact. So that's not a problem. What's wrong with this? Wrong number of type arguments 10, required 9. Why? Oh, because it's a function 8. Please tell me there's a function 9. There is. That's kind of funny. How many is there? Function... It goes all the way up to 16? That's crazy. I'm kind of tempted to just make tuple methods up to 16. Like, that might be useful. I wonder if Copilot can do it for me. Does Copilot know that, like, I want that? Copilot, come on. Come on, I have faith. No. It doesn't like that. I want it to do it, though. So I think if I do 1, then it should be like, ah, this is what you want, right? Maybe? T9, T10? Oh, it got a little bit stuck there. Oh yeah, it doesn't like this. And I'm not surprised that it doesn't like this, but... Isn't there a codec 10? Yeah, there is. Come on, Copilot. You know what to do. T11. Can I use this to do it? I think that's worked, hasn't it? The only difference is obviously this needs to be a function 11. And I assume this one needs to be a function 10. Why? It didn't actually quite do this one correctly. Yeah, that's fine. And then this one's complaining because it doesn't have T10 and T11. Amazing. And then kind of tempted to make it do it again. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go to Grok. I'm gonna ask it to I'm going to ask it to do this. I'm curious if Grok can do it. So we know Copilot cannot do it. I think it has. Yeah. That's crazy. So does Grok do it for 13? It does. 14? Hell yeah. 15? Nice. And 16. Anyways, I didn't actually need all those, of course, so now I just need to change this to extra packet code x.tuple, and that works fine. Okay, lovely. So that will be that. Good. Nothing. Okay, good. Right, so yeah, that's both of those. That's both, yeah, good. So what I need to do is I need to say this will do that. And if the catalyst is empty, then catalyst usage left is 0. Yes, basically that. But I also need to say that the max catalyst, this dot max catalyst uses is equal, is also 0, yes. And then I need to say here, I kind of do want to set that in here, actually. Well, that doesn't... Well, I guess there's no point doing that, is there? If the catalyst usage is less than or equal to 0, then it removes a stack. And what there really then should be somewhere up here is something that checks for a catalyst. But we can do that in a second. Then we just need to either set the output item or try and insert it. I think I'll just set it. And then progress is 0, max progress is 0, current recipe is null. And then it just updates. And then obviously an else statement, progress ++ and update. What it might be worth doing though is in here, I'm going to say int progress increment is going to be equal to 1. And then say if catalyst usage is less than or equal to 0. So if catalyst usage less is greater than 0. Hmm. No. So if it's less than 0, then what we'll do is we'll find the catalyst. So we'll say if recipe dot catalyst dot dot s for recipe. Sure. Is that the right way round, actually? Less than or equal. Yeah, that's fine. Less than or equal to the catalyst item stack. So basically, if the recipes, if the catalyst is present, right, then it will do that, which will be recipe dot catalyst use. Same thing with the max. Else, if the recipe requires the catalyst, then we'll reset. But only if it requires the... And then what we'll say here is that the progress increment will be 2. And then this dot progress plus equals progress increment. I think that's fine. Unless I'm missing something. So this does that. Which should be fine. These I can just make vars. That's just a very minor thing, though. Okay. I think that's everything. I think if there's anything I've missed. You guys see anything? Oh, the only thing I can see actually that is missing energy. Now the thing is, the crystallizer, now that I think about it, doesn't need energy, does it? So actually, let's just remove the energy because it doesn't need energy. It's a chemical reaction, not like a... Yeah, there's no like mechanical stuff going on here or anything. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And actually that means I need to get rid of it from the screen as well. Okay, fine. We can do that. Don't be... Oh. And I'm just gonna... That. And to be honest, this should probably go over here now. I'm gonna need to redo this GUI at some point because it's not... Fuck it, I am gonna actually move over that. I think it's So like there, I think. Fill that up. This now needs to be moved. So this now needs to go somewhere in these specs, object, align object, horizontal. And it's moved over by 70, no, wait, moved over by 17. Okay. That, and then save that. Right, let's go into the screen and quickly do that before I forget that it's moved over by 15. Gonna get rid of this. And then this is gonna be 77 plus 70, 94. And yeah, the rest should be fine. Then the slots have changed too. So the slot is now going to be at 140 handler. And these are going to be at 140. Okay. Then I'm also going to grab a thing for the int get, what's it called? The catalyst get catalyst uses, which is going to do that, and then get max catalyst uses, get catalyst. And we are going to want to draw that in here. So the catalyst slot is here. So I'm just going to grab the position. So 54 and 27. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do if this dot handler dot get block entity dot let's just do get catalyst usage percent is greater than 0. Then we'll just do renew. Is there a fill? Renewers dot fill, and that's going to be x plus 54. And then the y is going to be 27. And then the x is going to be 54 plus 16, which is going to be 70. In fact, I should probably do 53. I think that will make more sense. And then this is going to be the same. The y is going to actually just be 29 because it's only going to be 2 down. And then the color ideally should actually depend on the percent, but for now, sure, that's fine. What's this complaining about? Right, because this is just a percentage. But then the actual int width, or int, yeah, width is going to be 16 times So this is actually going to be the same then, right? So it's still going to be 53. Actually, I don't. Oh, actually, no, it's 18. There we go. Yeah, that should be fine. But this shouldn't be in here. It'll be not there, but okay. I think we're ready to try this. Yeah, I think we're ready to try it. Let's go ahead and wait, stop. There is one thing I'm going to do before I start it up. I'm going to add the fluid rendering component to here. So I'm going to add a private final in world fluid rendering component, just so that we can actually render that in here afterwards without having to restart the game. I don't want to run data jet though, so that, although wait, this isn't going to work because what I haven't done, I haven't fixed the recipe, or have I? I don't think I did. So if I go into here, yeah, I didn't fix the recipe. So I will do a private final int catalyst uses. I will add there, and I'll just do that there, and then I'll do that. Yeah, let's dot catalyst use. Okay, and then I just need to fix that in here. So I'm going to say int catalyst uses. I'm going to put that in here. And then I just have to fix this as well. So catalyst uses, I'm just going to say 5 maybe. I think that's reasonable. Or yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but like, oh, 5 will do. 5 is kind of weird, but oh well. So we'll run the data general, which regenerate that recipe for us. And then what? Try and run the client. Hopefully things will work. This needs to go. Yeah. Didn't mean to run data gen in debug mode, but oh well. Guess we'll do that now. Okay, that's generated. I just want to have a look at the got the byproduct, which is 0.7 chance, and that. This is the item. Yeah, that's fine. That's oh. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And now we can run the client. Why is this? Not sure. Guys think this is gonna work? I think like I've missed something. But I can't think what it be. I genuinely would not be surprised if it crashes, to be honest. Oh, why is this still not working? That's weird. I actually really thought that would work. Did I miss something? No, I might have actually forgotten. Thing. Yes, there's this. I have to do this. Got that. That's why that's not. Okay. So, we need to have 2 inputs in the top, I believe. Oh, that would be quite important. I was going to say that we need to do that, and then I completely forgot about it. Yes, we need to actually make it so we can input into it, into the multi-block. So, override a method, and that method is going to be get ports. We're going to have a map of direction to a list of transfer type, I think, which is going to be I don't remember. I'll just have a look. Yes. And I'm add this at them. Okay. So if the offset from Y is 4 and it's center column and it's up, then we're going to say it's transfer type dot fluid. If it's the back face, so this one, then it's also going to be fluid, I think. Is that right? Oh no, this is if Y is 0. Y actually would need to be 4 here. Is that correct though? So we got up and then we got south. Yep, that's correct. Where were the other ones? Let me just check. So we got west, north, and east. Yeah. I'm not sure how to do those ones. Honest. If Y is 0, center column, and its direction down. No. So we have west, which is catalyst input. We have east, which is going to be output. And then we have north, which is byproduct. Is that right? I'm not sure that's correct. West, north, and then east. West, north, then east. So if Y is 0 and Z is 0. No. No. What? That's completely wrong. So if y is 0, z is 0. Oh, he needs to be like we can actually say x is equal that, and that's that. Z is -1 and direction's north. That's fine. And then this is if x is 1. Sure, I'll probably change these later. I'm actually going to leave that comment there because it's kind of helpful. And I'm also going to comment these ones. But I'm just going to say that up is going to be crystal input, and then south is can't hotspot that. Don't know why I tried. And let's see. I suspect it will not work, but we should see something. Oh. I'll move this over here. Need the game twice. Okay, so if I now do that, doesn't do anything. Interesting, actually. What I'm noticing, actually, oh, you know why? Because I needed to do that first. Yeah, that's now broken everything. Let's just break this real quick because these are all going to cause problems now. There shouldn't be any more. Oh, there actually is. Must have missed. Okay, so if I place it back down now it should be fine. So if I go F3 and B, it actually hasn't quite worked. Probably because these Y offsets aren't right. So these Y offsets are actually 3, not 4. So I'll break that again. This time that actually did work, which is nice. At least I think it did, yeah. Oh, that has not quite worked. So does this need to be... Oops, didn't mean to do that. This way round? Yeah, so it's a bit janky. They currently don't like actually rotate correctly with the multi-block, but I mean I can probably fix that at some point. Just yeah, not right now. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll connect this up with this. Okay. Why, by the way? Oh, right, because this isn't actually... Yeah, that's not right. That shouldn't be connected to that. What that needs to be connected to is this right here. So I will bring this down. Like that. And I'm actually not going to insert it yet because we're also going to need to insert the water as well. So I'll put one here. And and the water is all the way over there, so I'm going to make another fluid pump and just do water. Place that there. And we're going to see which side is going to be willing to output fluid. It might be this one, but I'm not sure if it's that one. What we'll do is we'll just grab a cable and we'll power this with a wind turbine rather than trying to connect it up all the way over there. This is an atrocious wind turbine. Let's try here. A little bit better. Okay, great. I'm actually not too happy with that, with where those are, the whole like system with that. I have to figure that out at some point. Anyways, if we do that, this should be filled up with water. We can actually see that it is. And if I connect this, this should fill up with sodium aluminate. It does. And you see that the recipe actually does start as well. And we should see that it outputs the correct thing. It should use all of the water and it should use all of the sodium aluminate. So let's have a look. It's actually very hard to tell what it did, but I think it did, yes. So I now actually take out one of these. So it actually needs more sodium aluminate to run. So what we can do, I mean, the bottleneck really is always going to be the mixer, which I'm not a huge fan of, but that's kind of how it is. So like, if I put that much in there and then put a stack of sodium hydroxide, so we'll see that that will put that in here. We're going to watch this whole thing. We might as well watch the whole thing. So that's going to put that in there. That's going to go into here. This is then going to start processing. Like that. Then we'll see that appears in here, at which point this should also start processing. Or does this need 1,000? I didn't think this needed 1,000, but it might need 1,000. Did I change it to need 1,000? I might have. So, I mean, what you would really do to make this run, like, more efficiently is you would have, probably 3 digesters or maybe 3 mixers. I think you'd have 3 mixers, 3 digesters, and then those would all go into one clarifier. For like the most optimal speed. But then if you wanted that to run fast enough in the crystallizer, you would actually then need 3 clarifiers, which means you'd need 9 of each of these. But yeah. I mean, that's how it currently works. That's probably not how I would actually keep it. So that will generate 3, 3, 3, 3, which will fill this up. And in theory, this should go faster. And we should actually also see like the number of uses being drawn. From there. That didn't work? Interesting. I'm not sure why that did. What it might be worth doing is actually just moving this code outside of here. I think. Just watch this. So this will give it 3333. Okay. Interesting. So, I mean, really, the second that this is put in there, it should be rendering that bar, and I'm noticing it's not doing that. So, I think what I need to do... I think I just need to move the... So, if this is actually greater than... else, I'm just gonna... Okay, and then I'm gonna do... I do actually have to do it here because it requires the recipe, but if the recipe catalyst has for recipe, else if it requires the recipe, yeah, then I'm gonna reset everything. And that should mean that this will get drawn. This needs to actually do an... And this only needs to be, actually, if this dot catalyst left. That's an... So once this processes, which is going to be when this does its thing, which is going to be when this does its thing. So this is going to do its thing to get 3333, which is going to go in here, which will process to get 3333, which will go into here. No, it won't actually, because this needs 1000. So we actually have to let this run 2 more times before we can actually get that. You can see why it would be beneficial to have multiple mixers, because this is really the slow point. And I mean, maybe I'll make it go faster. Like, maybe the mixer is too slow, to be honest. I don't think it is too slow, though. I think it's kind of fine as it is. Maybe it just doesn't output enough. I mean, it's using like quite a lot of resources for it to only output 3333. But maybe it should output a bucket. But then I'd have to probably rebalance all. But well. Let's watch what this does. So now that's actually just not running. Interesting. Very interesting. So this dot catalyst so catalyst uses left is equal -1. So then we do recipe.catalyst.test. So if it's valid, so it's saying it's not valid. The recipe doesn't require a catalyst, but I'm sorry, why is this not valid? So if I go test for recipe, so it looks for aluminum hydroxide. This looks for aluminum hydroxide. Does this look for a specific count? Oh, it looks for a count of 8. Yeah, it's not meant to do. That's yeah, the other thing is where am I? This shouldn't return. Yeah. It should just run normal without increment. I mean, this can actually be that. Even then, simplify this to. Anyways, need to fix the recipe. Let's go into data recipe, and it requires 8 aluminum hydroxide. No, 8. Yeah, 8 aluminum hydroxide there. It just needs to require 1. So that's. And then if I run data gen, just to let that generate. There we go. And then if we go ahead and build. Okay. And if we press play. Okay, and we are going to want to do a /reload. There you go. We can now see a bar has been drawn there. And that should go down. Yes, it did go down. Okay, perfect. So that is actually exactly what I wanted. I am going to, though, make this be 52. I'm going to make this FF. Going to be 50. Width, I'm going to then make 20. Wow. I think the Y as well should probably be 30. Not sure how I would feel about that. Not sure how I feel about that. I kind of prefer it as it was before. Yeah, I prefer it as it was before. Yeah, maybe a little bit more color, but apart from that, it's fine as it was before. It probably also looks kind of weird because of the because of it not having a model, which I should probably do, by the way, whilst let's quickly do that. That should take long. Translation build, add item init dot. Did I do red mud or not? I did. Okay. So it's just aluminum hydroxide and then hydroxide. I didn't mean to actually, because they also had the mod. Item mod. Register. Hydroxide. Carbonate. Okay, and then we'll run that, and then we'll build, and then we'll. Give that a second. Go. And then we can build. F3 and T. Okay, and then these now have actual names, and it doesn't look quite as weird. Okay, so this is about to go through, which will then make this go through. I'm actually curious what this looks like now, though. It kind of looks weird because now it's in slow motion. Yeah, because that was kind of very dependent on the process time being the same as it was. And now that that's different, that's gone kind of weird. Yeah, I might have to look into that. One thing I do need to do is I need to say here, so I need to do this is greater than 0, and the test for recipe. Because I need to check that the catalyst is actually there, regardless of whether the usage is there. And I'm gonna 4x it just so it can be a noticeable difference, at least for now. And the other thing is in here. So this just does catalyst item. So if it's empty, then it resets it to 0. Else, it takes it away. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and if it's less than 0, then it's the item. That's fine. That's okay. Is this gonna run through? No. But... okay. I'm gonna make this output a full bucket because I think it uses way too much and doesn't output that. So let's do that. That should be output a bucket. More reasonable because it takes in a bucket and it also takes in 4 bauxite and a sodium hydroxide. But I think it's reasonable that it would output a bucket. I think that's perfectly fine. So we'll just run that, build, and then we will reload the recipe. So go. Let's also turn that off. I need to move that into debug probably. That back to there. Then we're gonna do reload, and once that's done, which we actually do, I would done now. I'm gonna put these in there. And this should now output bucket bed. Which it did, which is now going to put this in a bucket as well. So this is actually going to go way faster. The entire thing is going to go fast. Oh, right. This still doesn't output a bucket though. So yeah, the limit will now be the digester. Unfortunately. I could have 2 digesters, maybe? Oh, oops. shouldn't have done that. I think it was here, right? Oops. Yeah. So let's grab the digester. Let's check the right way round. It is. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna grab this, connect that up like that. I'm gonna put the energy in as well. So the energy, closest one is just here, like that. And then it also needs the slurry in the hello SV3R, welcome to the stream. So now that's going to be split between both of these. I need to fix this rejecting use item on packet. I think I can fix that pretty easily because I think it's just the screen handler that's like, hey, this okay. I think that's what it is. Let's take these out. Oh. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. A little bit more of what's going on, because I realized that, like, can't see you. So yeah, we're basically just waiting for these to do their thing. Has this? Okay, yeah, splitting between two of them doesn't really work, I don't think. So does this ever go up from 666? Shall we have a look? Done. No. So what that should have done, instead of putting it in here, is it should have split them between the two. Actually not entirely sure why it didn't, to be honest. But yeah, that is one thing. No, in fact, I'm probably going to forget that if I don't it. And I'm just do splitting rigid. Hello, wide. Things are going well, I think. Yeah. That's, things are going well. We're waiting for this to fill up, which it should do any second now, I think. Yeah, this is going to process, and then this will fill up, and we should see this go really fast, in theory, because it should be 4 times faster than usual. So it should take 200 to 1,000. That's not. It should take 250. Yeah, that's about 250 compared to if I do that. Yeah, look how much slower that goes now. And if I put it back in, it continues. Take it out, goes really slow. Put it back in, goes really fast. Nice. So that's that pretty much done. The only thing to do now is obviously rendering. And I'm not really sure how I want to render it. But obviously the one thing I do need to do is going to be drawing the fluid, right? Now, in terms of drawing the fluid, it's going to need to be like a mixture of these two fluids, and I'm not or how to be honest. Like, do I just draw both of? I don't think that will work. I try and. I'm not what the goal is here. Maybe I draw because there's 5 times as much water, right? So if I draw maybe this one like 5 times less transparent, maybe that could work. Otherwise, I don't really know how to do that. Yeah, look how slow that goes. That's crazy. So if I put these in there, you see it goes a lot faster. Pretty cool. I like that. Anyways, yeah, so let's do rendering then. So, I mean, this should be... I don't want to say... I'm going to say it and then it's so painful. I'm not going to say anything, but... Yeah. Yeah. I think we can just do... Just.fluid render.render. Gonna render the entity. Get crystal fluid store. We're gonna vertex consumers, matrices. We're gonna use light overlay, entity dot world, and what's the pos? I'm not sure what the pos is for. But that's gonna be entity dot. Oh, the pos is for getting right. So it's like biome dependent, like fluid colors. Okay. So let's just split these up into understandable. How can I do parameters? Is it shift? Oh, it's control P. So then it's x1, y1, z1, x2, max height. Okay. So x1. So for x1, we're going to need to get the center and then basically go however far it is here. So I'm going to open Blueprint. And I could count pixels, but I can't be asked. I'm going to grab the size of this, which is 36. 36, right? So I believe then the size would be why can I not math? 18. So it should be 18 over 60. The y gonna be 1, I believe, because it's gonna be starting here. And we know that this is 16 pixels. I could just do like 16 over 16, but that's weird. So, and then this is not going to be, this might be 18 over 6, or it might be negative 18. Not sure. We'll see in a then it's going to be the x2. So x2 is going to be actually going to be negative. This is going to be 18. And the height is going to be all the way up to there. So we know that this is 3 blocks high from here. So it's going to be 3 times 16 negative 2. So 3 times 16 is 48. So negative 2, that's going to be 46. I think this will be 46 over 15. Should we try it? I guess we try it. Not quite. Not quite. Oh yes, of course. So that's because what I've done here is I put the oh yeah, I see what I've done. So this should be 18. That's fine. This should be 6. Okay. What I've done wrong here is that this should actually be -18. I think. No, other way around. This should be negative. Positive. Down here? Where's it gone? Let's render the water. Because I know that that will definitely be, like, in here, right? So... What is it doing? A little bit I'm not sure what it's doing, to be honest. Are these still running, by the way? Or are these, like, done? Yeah, they're done. So this it isn't going to add any more point. That's good to know. Why is it doing this? Wait, am I stupid? So x2 is 18. So I think the x is fine. Right? The y is confusing me. Oh, it's because it's meant to be 1 plus. One plus. Don't need to be like that. Why is it being weird? Do these need to be that way around? I don't think they do. It worked when I had this as a different value. Like, what if I do like that? I mean, I feel like this should work. I'm confused why I can only even see one side. Oh, there actually is a second side in the edge here. In all the edges, actually. It's just not drawing the top and bottom faces, I guess. Unless, oh, actually, it could be drawing the top face like in here. Alright, but it's not going to draw the top face because it's full. So it's just a matter of like, why is this only going to here? Something to the height. I'm so confused. What is happening? Put a breakpoint. Happened. So it's going to get the third variant, which get the amount, capacity, fill percentages. Get the color, right, render layer, the vertex. Y2 is going to fill percentage times the max height input. That's 3.87. Oh, in pixels, guys, it's in pixels. I didn't tell me that. So this is actually going to be 46 plus 60. Very confusing, but that's actually that. There you go. Y, I think it's 0.5, so this is going to be 8. Quite. Negative 5. That means the negative. Or just that. Oh yeah, just that. Yeah, that makes sense because it's the height, not the y2. It's the height. Okay, right, that makes sense. Okay, so that is that draw. Then we basically need to do the same thing again, but for the other one. So entity dot get crystal. Okay. Now, there's nothing in there right now. So, let's put some more bauxite and stuff in here. And let's let that run and process through. And hopefully we'll get the in here. But those are probably going to be going, I assume, in here. So that will go into here. I just have to give it a second for that to come in here again. In here. And then once this has processed, we should, in theory, see it come through into here. There you go. So it is, but it is gonna Z-fight it. Not sure actually how to fix that, to be honest. I guess actually I can that? Oh, I guess that's not gonna. That's the. This needs to be 17. If I do this and there you go. Nice. So that will get that in there. Why isn't this running? Oh, this is full. Now I want to make it slightly transparent. So I want to say color dot subtraction, I think. Yeah, yeah, subtraction. So then I'm going to subtract x. Oh, have I put these? I put them. So I'm going to here x 0 0. No, I'm going to subtract like 40. No, 40 and 0 0. See if that works. Yeah, that's worked. There you go. Oh, it's slightly weird. That's made it slightly weird. Now it's not like quite doing it correctly. Actually don't know why. Oh, it's fine now. How weird. Yeah, I don't know why it was doing that then. Yeah, so if I now put these in there, that'll go a little bit faster. I'm guessing it wasn't like drawing the top face or something, but I don't know why it wouldn't. Yeah, and there's definitely a little bit of a bug here with it drawing the transparency, but like that's fine. That's not really a problem. But yeah, that's basically it. And then I obviously need to draw the crystal in the middle. But to be honest, I think that's actually going to be it for this stream. Unfortunately. Probably won't be streaming again tomorrow though. Yeah, I don't think I will be. But maybe Monday. See. But probably not. I don't know. If I stream tomorrow, I'll schedule it, but if I don't, then I won't. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I think we've got quite a lot done today, I feel like. We've got like the whole logic of this done, right? Which is pretty cool, I think. And obviously a lot of the rendering is done too. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of a bug here. I don't know why it's doing that, to be honest. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I will see you. Bye.